The group chat on MUTV is back for another week, and we're just, 5 days now away from United getting their Premier League campaign underway after, the shortest ever pre-season. The panel are in place. Danny Webber, we've got David May, we've got Ben Thornley, and we've got Wes Brand. Morning, boys. How are you?
Morning.
Hi, Stu.
Morning.
Ben, again, from his Mediterranean hideaway. Looking good there again, mate.
It is, but I think it's good everywhere, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Getting there.
It's always good where you are. It's always mysteriously good where you are. Amazing. We can't help but notice you're joining us from a car. Tell us what you're up to.
I'm just near Cockermouth in Cumbria, mate. I'm meeting a few lads. We're going up playing the Home of Golf, St Andrews.
Oh yeah.
So I am, mate. Yeah. I never played it, so looking forward to that.
Mate, what are you going to go round in at St Andrews, mate? That is tough.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's no buggies on St Andrews, so I'll have to walk. I'll break 80. If I break 80.
Oh, and just he was about to tell us what he was going to break.
80,
He dropped out. But now he's back again now. All right, mate. That's what we're going to face. Right, that's what we're going to face over the next half an hour with Maisie dropping in and out. But there you go. These things happen, don't they? Just before we move on, lots of reactions to the show on Friday when, of course, we had the competition where a lot of you got in touch with us to come up with a terrace chant for one of our group chat panels. So thanks for all of the reaction for that. We had a late entry, actually, Ben. Somebody's written in with it now to say, tough competition, but I gave it a go. I always had a great laugh at Ben's Aviators, and that's why I made a chant to the theme of Blame It on the Boogie. Can you sing this again, Ben, or not? People were delighted with your singing on Friday. Can you sing this little? It's only 5 lines.
No.
No?
One of the other lads should do it.
Tiny.
Well, it's just basically the way it is. If you can just, I'm going to say it. I want you to sing it, Ben. It's basically, don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the sidelight. Don't blame it on the Aviators. Blame it on Ben Thornley. He just can't sit indoors. I think that's pretty good, don't you?
Not bad.
He's gone with the Aviators. He's
Not
gone
bad.
with everything. Come on, Ben. Can you just sing just those 5 lines? This is from Brian Kingan. We appreciate your efforts. Come on, Ben.
Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the sidelight. Don't blame it on the Aviators. Blame it on Ben Thornley. He just can't sit indoors.
Very good. Very good. Appreciate that. Well done, Ben. A great effort, Brian. Sorry, too late, Brian. Unfortunately, you probably would have won the shirt after that. But there you go. Great effort. Thanks for getting in touch. This one from Talibate, from Gambia in West Africa. If anyone tells you that a guy here living in the smallest country on mainland Africa with a population of just under 2 million is watching you all the time, would you believe them? Well, I do. I watch the group chat, the highlights and reactions, Stuart, Ben, Danny, Wes, and all the others. I appreciate all of you. We have a big season ahead. I don't believe the gap to the top is as wide as people claim it is. We will close it. Just watch. So Talibé from Gambia in West Africa. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Thanks for getting in touch. This one from Kazim, who was one of the people whose chant we read out on Friday. My chant made it on the show. Weekend made. Mine was the first one that was read out. Unbelievable scenes. He's always outside. It was that one, he's always outside. He's always outside. Ben Thornley, he's always outside. So that was that one. This one, I got to admit, Ben's got a pretty decent voice, which we agree. Is that a little secret skill you've been hiding, Ben?
Not at all, no.
No?
I enjoy a bit of a sing, but I would never proclaim to having a decent voice.
Hey, Ben, we know you've got a decent voice, mate. That night in Barbados, when Snoz was a DJ.
Oh, yeah, that was fun, yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
This one from Greg. Cheers, lads. Thanks, Ben, for your delivery. A+. I'll be buzzing all weekend. Thanks very much. That's Greg Frosty 1. You remember it was Siobhan who actually picked him out. Greg won. So congratulations to you. Glad that made your weekend. Talking of the weekend, boys, United played their only pre-season game on Saturday at Villa, which you would have seen, hopefully, on MUTV. Ben, you were there with me as well. A team, in fairness, missing lots of regulars, lost 1-0, but it'll be a very different side, I'd imagine, running out of Old Trafford on Saturday.
Yeah, it will. I think it was a surprise to us all that there were so many of them that weren't included, but obviously the manager took the decision with the lads that have been on international breaks and what have you not to bring them, and it gave him the opportunity to give some of the other lads a little bit of a run out, and also for the likes of Luke Shaw, who was coming back from injury, Donny van der Beek, Van der Beek, I should say, sorry, that he wanted to integrate into the team. And I thought in the first half they created so many chances, especially from the wide areas. And it's going back to what Ole Gunnar has sort of put down to being a little bit of an issue with him and the team, is that they don't put teams to the sword when they create the chances that they do, and that's something that they'll be working on and will have to rectify come the start of the season, come Saturday. But it was a decent workout. 1-0 didn't reflect how the game went, and that's what people possibly who might not have seen it are thinking, woe betide, Man United have lost 1-0 at Aston Villa, a team that you're expecting to be fighting for relegation. But being there and seeing the game, it didn't reflect the result the way that United played, especially in the first half.
I don't know if you lads saw it as well, but can we draw any conclusions from it, or is it just a kind of pre-season friendly about getting miles on the legs ahead of the season? Wes?
Yeah, I've not seen it yet, Stu, if I'm being honest. But I think we did the same last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's one of them. It's like you said, all the team wasn't there. A few of the lads would have needed a run. Obviously, you want to win the game, but more importantly, you just want everyone to get a good run out, not get injured, and get that sort of game pace in your legs. That's all that is. Obviously, I seen the score as well. I think it come up on social media somewhere, and you're thinking, I wonder what the team was, what's going on. So, yeah, it's one of them, Stu. I think we'll be fine. There was lots of players missing, especially our bigger players.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone will be ready at the weekend.
It was interesting, Dean Henderson getting the nod in goal. Didn't have a huge amount to do, but he got the nod in goal. A few youngsters getting the opportunity as well. Danny, so I suppose a decent exercise, but if you haven't got Bruno and Martial and Pogba and Mason and Wan-Bissaka, I suppose it can't really tell us a huge amount about what we're going to face next week.
No, because you mentioned 5 of our key players there that weren't playing. It's great for some of the lads to get a run out, the younger lads, but, it's not going to be the team that starts next week. So I just think it's horses for courses. Certain people need minutes. People be managing nursing things as you normally would through pre-season, like blisters and all that kind of thing. And it's just making sure that come next week we're ready. It's not about Saturday gone by. Although everybody will be disappointed that we didn't win the game, because that's what the culture of the club's about.
Maisie, Van der Beek slotted into the centre of midfield, played the game. I mean, how important is it just to get him up and running? And he slotted in nicely as well, but he'd only been training for a couple of days. How important was it to get him playing and make him feel a part of it?
Yeah, it's important. It's important. The lads have touched on it. You don't get any points for the game against Villa. It's all about this week. And Donny he'll know what. I mean, he's not played with any of the so-called superstars yet, but he will do. And that's what it's all about. It's all about him getting used to our United, how they play, what's it like being in a United dressing room. But the main thing is, Stu, is making sure, and the lads have covered it, come Saturday when we play then, everything in pre-season goes out the window. You can win all the games in pre-season if we had half a dozen games. You can lose all the games. It's all about Saturday, making sure that when you cross the white line on Saturday, that you're absolutely bang on. And, yeah, players were missing. Gives an opportunity for the fringe players as well, for them to make stake a claim in the team that's going to be coming up. But the main thing is Saturday. Forget about this weekend. Yeah, you get the legs and you get an hour and stuff like that. But the main thing is Saturday. That's all that matters.
But are you guys concerned that the players I've mentioned and others haven't had a pre-season? They basically haven't had a pre-season at all, and we're going to go straight into the campaign. Are you concerned about that, Ben?
No, it's not that long since they played a massive amount of games during the lockdown. They apart from not getting to a final, they went as far as they possibly could into the season. It was only done less than a month ago. They've rightly so had a couple of weeks to relax and have a bit of a break with the families and what have you. But in that time, you will lose a little bit of fitness. I would say more sharpness than anything else. But I would imagine that the 2 weeks that they'll have been back and they'll have been in training, they'll have pretty much caught that up. And yes, it might be a slight concern that some of them haven't actually played a game going into the Crystal Palace match. But I think that if it had been, 6 or 7 weeks, then it might have been a bit different. But I can't see that there'll be that much lost in the time that they've been away.
Obviously, the big game of the weekend was Salford against Exeter. And we're going to talk about that now because our guest this morning, obviously a graduate of the class of 92 and now the sporting director of Salford City, Chris Casper, is with us. Great to see you, Chris. Thanks for being so patient. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Stuart. Morning, everybody.
Morning, mate.
Morning,
Up and running with a point then?
Oh, Frankie.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a great performance from us, Stuart. To be fair, we were probably lucky to escape with a point. But they're a good team, Exeter. They got in the playoffs last year. They were unlucky not to get promotion. So it might prove to be a decent point in the long run, but just disappointing with the performance, especially the first half, really.
How much do the owners, class of 92, have involvement with regards to matches or the weekly sort of preparation? Is Gary Neville all over it like a rash? Is he relentless, or are they sort of hands off?
No, Gary's the most active, I would say, of the owners. I speak to him most days. But at the game on Saturday, Ryan was there, Gary was there, Phil was there, and they all take an active interest in it. It's a big part of their lives, and they do put a lot of effort into it, a lot of hard work. But like I say, Gary's the lead one, really.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you as well. I don't want to rub in the scoreline with the United team last week in the EFL Trophy, but United start tonight their league campaign in PL2, which we've got here on MUTV, and obviously they did win at Salford last week. And I was just wondering, from your point of view, watching on, what you make of that crop of youngsters who are playing for United in PL2.
I thought the first thing they got a lot of quality in the team. I thought defensively wise they were very well organised. I thought they were strong. I thought they were tough. The back four, is it Ethan Laird, the right back, Mengi, the left back, Bernard Deschamps, the centre back. Very, very powerful, very aggressive, and were better than us on the night. There was no doubt about that. But they got good quality as well. Hannibal in midfield. Yeah. Very good player. Obviously, James Garner has played in the first team as well. Elanga, very, very quick forward. So all in all, they'd got some really good quality players in there. When they're bringing those kind of players through, the future's very bright.
Yeah, I was interested in what you thought about that, because quite a few of those lads were actually involved in the first team friendly at Villa on Saturday. I suppose you don't want to go over the top about how good a crop of players are, but I mean, does it look bright at least when you see a team like that?
Yeah, and I think when you look at the first team, and like I say, you look at people like Ethan Laird. If something did happen to Wan-Bissaka, then you've got a ready-made. For me, I think a ready-made replacement. Same on the left-hand side with the left back Mengi, and that's what you want from your 23s. You want people and players that can, when they do need to step up, they are capable of stepping up. And like I say, physically, they were very, very good. They were very powerful, technically wise. Could handle the ball as Man United players always have been able to do. They were very, very good. But I think sometimes the academy games program and the academy players get a bit of a bad press, really. By are they going to be strong enough? Is it competitive enough? Well, 6-0 tells you they were very competitive. So, like you say, Stuart, the future's very bright for that group of players. Yeah.
Yeah. What we really want you to do is dish the dirt on Ben, as you obviously grew up with him in the class of 92. So away you go.
He's what, sorry?
We want you to dish the dirt on Ben as you grew up with him in the class of 92. That's the main thing. That's the main thing I want you to do on this show.
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure what I could say that's not already been said, Stuart. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I could do any more dishing of the dirt on Ben.
When you think back, Cass, I mean, for you, growing up with that team and in that environment and in that era, do you ever look back on that and it must have been phenomenal? Yeah,
it was just a really good time to be part of the club. we joined in '91, myself and Ben. You know, and the club had just won the European Cup Winners' Cup. So the success had just, and the year before the FA Cup, obviously. So the success had just started to, you know, to happen. And for the 7 years that I was there, it was, you know, winning leagues, winning the FA Cup and things like that. It was just a great time to be part of it. But I think the one thing that it did do is it did keep you still very grounded. You know, the players that came through and the people that came through, even if they didn't get into the first team, if they went and played at another club, or they got another, you know, they went and worked in another profession, another business, the place grounded you and give you the values and the standards that you should be able to see Manchester United players, and, you know, to this day, so to speak. But definitely, it was a great time to be part of the club. It was vibrant, like I say, successful. But like I say, it was just a genuinely good group of players that were all trying the best for, obviously, for a great club that it is.
Ben, good memories of Casper?
Yeah, obviously played against Casper when we were, you know, before we joined Manchester United, and I don't think we actually liked each other, to be perfectly honest, when we used to play against each other, because we were both gobby and both mouthy. But you suddenly learned when you got together with him what a great lad he is, and what a leader he was as well for our youth team. I mean, him and Gaz played centre half for our youth team, and we had plenty of fun on the pitch, as well as plenty of success with the two of them arguing constantly. But they were a solid partnership, and it was just like Kath said, it was a great time. Everybody got on, and we were successful in our own right, and wanting to make that progression to go up through the reserves and into the first team. But no, Cass was a solid centre half, and a little bit like myself, was very unlucky with the terrible injury that he got.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good. I mean, do you ever look back at that now, Chris? The fact your career was cut terribly short. 24 was it when you were at Reading? I mean, yeah. If you'd had that injury now, for instance, would it have been different? Has technology changed, or the medical profession changed, or has it? What would happen if you'd had that injury now?
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot different, Stuart. I had a pretty bad leg break, damage to my ankle as well, pretty bad damage to my ankle as well, which kept me out for about 15 months. My fibula didn't heal, my bones didn't heal, and it was going to need a bone graft. And I think nowadays that wouldn't be half as long as it would have been back then. It was going to be another 10 months out of the game, which I was out of contract, and I just got to the stage where, you know, I wasn't anywhere near the first team. I wasn't feeling as though I was contributing to the club. And like I say, another 10 months out just wasn't going to do me any favours whatsoever. I'd really been struggling to kickstart my career after being out for over 3 years. So that's why I decided to get straight into coaching, really, and coaching at Bath University, Team Bath. And I really enjoyed that side of the game, and then came back up and was a coach and a manager at Bury as well. So it's you know, as one door opens, closed, I suppose, another one opens, but it was way too early for me. You know, and mentally, you know, like I say, when you were 24, like Ben's just said there, we were excited by the future. I'd left to go to Reading, but Reading was a vibrant club as well, with the investment of John Majeski, just moved into a new stadium, etc. And like I say, when your career's cut short really by at least 10 years, it's quite difficult to take. But it's the hand that you're dealt, and you do learn to deal with it and learn to move on. But at the time, it was very difficult. Yeah.
Is the psychologically difficult thing the most difficult part of it? Mentally, is it?
Yeah.
Difficult?
Yeah. You know, and like Ben's just alluded to there, we both suffered pretty bad tackles from, you know, real reckless tackles as well. You know, I was at the game when Ben got his injury, and it was horrific. It really was. I heard the snap of his knee in the stand. You know, and he was never the same player again. You know, when you spend so long out of the game, he was never the same player. And, you know, Ben would have gone on to have a fantastic career at Manchester United, and I'm sure with England, you know, when he was especially in the youth team with us, he was a star player really. And you know, to have it cut short like that was tragic really. But you know, you learn to live with it, you learn to deal with it, and you get on with your life. But yeah, psychologically it was pretty tough. Yeah.
Just open up to the other lads as well, mate. Did you Did you enjoy training with Maisie, Chris? In your time at
Yeah, Maisie came. I think '94. I think Maisie joined, and
yeah,
with we he was a good trainer. I was a good trainer. Training was always competitive. I think that's the one thing about United, Maisie. I think you'd agree, and Wes and the other lads, that you trained how you played, and that was how you expected. The training was real high intensity, always good quality. And when you've got quality players around you, it just improves you all the time as well. Especially as a young lad, got to train with the likes of, when playing against your Cantonars and your Mark Hugheses and Andy Coles and people like that, day in day out, it has to improve you as a young player. But Maisie was a good trainer. But like I say, that was the expected, and that was the norm of the club, really.
Yeah, Maisie.
You sound shocked there, Stu.
Oh, I've never heard anybody say that, and we've done 70-odd shows, and nobody's ever said that.
Frankie, the bung's in the post, pal. No, I think Chris is bang on there. I think whenever you play, or whenever you train at Manchester United, the intensity and the work rate and the commitment you have to put in just goes to show how many young lads actually go on and have a career. If they don't make it at Manchester United, how many other players have gone on to be successful elsewhere? And that's the grounding that Chris had, Ben had, Danny, Wes, all the young lads that came through. They have such an important grounding, and the work ethic is so important. And it is great to watch. I mean, I got bought to come into United, but you could see from day one the amount of work that the young lads were putting in to get to where they needed to get to be successful. And if you don't make it at Manchester United, you've got a fantastic career ahead of you somewhere else. You've seen other lads, go on and win the Premier Leagues. So, it's that grounding that from Eric Harrison, God bless him, up to Fergie, that window, that whatever it is that the lads have to go through week in, week out, training, stands you in good stead wherever you go. Whether you leave the actual football world and you go into something else, the grounding that you get from Manchester United sets you up for life.
Wes?
You're right, Cass, mate. I've seen
Hi,
that.
Wes, you're right, mate.
I've seen you've bought an ex-teammate of mine in Jason Lowe, the captain of Blackburn when I was there, actually.
Yeah.
So I can see that you've got some really good players now. So are you confident in promotion this year? I mean, I know that's what the target will be. Are you looking, to really push it?
Yeah, last year I think we finished 11th last year, which for the first year, people say it was okay and it was a start. We were disappointed with it, to be fair, with the quality players that we had last year. This year we recruited characters, quality players obviously, but characters, like you said there. Jason's a captain, Tom Clark's a captain from Preston. We brought Ash Hunter back in from Fleetwood. So we've recruited 4 or 5 players that have got the experience, got the character, to lead the dressing room and lead us hopefully to promotion and success. Yeah, but he's a very, very good character, is Jason, in the dressing room around the players, and obviously on the field he's got really good quality as well.
And you got your hands full with Salford, but I just wonder what you make of current United, and Ollie, and what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, I think with the young players as well, Mason Greenwoods, Brandon Williams. Obviously, I still class Marcus as a young player. Possibly a couple of players away from being, challenging for the title, but I can't see any reason why we shouldn't be in and around the top 4. Well, in the top 4 definitely. And saying that as in the past, Man United. I'm not saying they're happy with just being in the top 4, but you've got to make a start, because Liverpool and Man City have just blown everybody away over the last 3 years. So they have to get a start somewhere. They have to get a run of performances, a run of results together. And you never know. That's a very, very good squad that they've got at this moment in time. But I think if you could add possibly 2 players to that, possibly 3, you'd be challenging for the title. So, but underneath that, you've got some really exciting young players as well. So if they don't get the players in that they want, then give those lads a chance, definitely.
We really appreciate your time this morning and continued success at Salford Cast. We really appreciate you coming and joining us. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Thanks, Stuart. All the best, lads.
Cheers,
All the best, Frankie.
That's mate.
Take care, pal.
Take care.
We must mention two things, really. As I mentioned there, the Premier League 2 season starts tonight for the 23s. We're playing Leicester at Lee. You'll see that on MUTV, 7 o'clock kickoff. The United women as well. We obviously spoke at length about them on Friday with Siobhan. They won 5-2 at Birmingham yesterday. Ross, Zellum, Toon, Hansen, the goal scorers, and really hardly any of the new signings played either. So that's a great start to the season for them. So congratulations to Casey. And as I say, we're back on Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and as we build up till the big kickoff for United, at least this weekend, against Crystal Palace. Boys, I'll see you later, Ben and at Lee, and lads, have a great day, and we'll speak again Wednesday, shall we? Take care.